Hey there, I'm back again. Smitty here from Kevin's Solar Adventure. For a long time I've been wanting to do a video with my Bluetti EB240 and power consumption of different amplifiers. Guitar amplifiers, I should clarify. I'm an electric guitar player. I love playing guitar, acoustic or electric, but I just wanted to put my EB through its paces as far as amplifiers go. There's a lot of ways you can go with the guitars, especially if you're out in the wild or on your boat somewhere. You can use an acoustic guitar, which consumes no power, and it's good for campfires and stuff. And it's it's quiet and it's pretty. Electric guitar is different. If you want to play an electric guitar, you want to really ramp it up, play some Jimi Hendrix out in the middle of the woods. You can do it. There's different ways to do that. Of course, with amplifiers, you can use tube amplifiers, which are known to have the best tone. Those are going to draw more wattage, probably 100 to 150 watts more than they're actually rated at. So the draw is going to be higher than the actual amplifiers what it puts out. Solid state amps are more efficient. Transistors are more efficient. They have a different sound, but these days amplifiers are coming around to where they sound decent even without having tubes in them. So lower power consumption, better volume control as far as playing quietly with getting certain types of sounds. Of course, the size of the amps make a difference too. How much do you want to lug around? A big box, small box, something easy to stick away and hide when you're not using it. So portability is an issue. Sound quality, obviously, as you go from different types, you'll see here that there are different sound qualities for everything that I show you. Of course, the cost of the items too. That's really up to you. That's not a big deal, but the bigger you go up, usually sometimes it can cost more, but it depends. It's going to vary. You can also run bass through these items. If you want to play some bass through a small tablet, you can do that even through the big stuff. So that's an option. Also, headphones are good. You can use headphones with most of these options except the acoustic. So headphones are another option for that. So basically, stick around. I'll show you some different things with different types of ideas that I've used for getting sound without drawing a lot of power from the grid or from my solar generator. So stick around. First up, we have the acoustic guitar. Clearly no power required. It's very portable. Quiet. It's great for campfires. Another thing that I like about this is you don't need an amp. So this is probably the most power-saving guitar you could ever use on your boat or camper or wherever you're at. So this is where I'm starting. Acoustic guitar. Next up is a tablet with a interface and a small speaker. There's your tablet, guitar interface. You need just to plug the guitar into the tablet, and then the sound comes back out through the interface to a speaker of any sort. Since these are rechargeable and all this stuff is really low power draw, it's great for a source of sound if you don't want to draw a lot of solar and drain down your battery. So this is the next one up. Let me show you some electric guitar. Do this thing. Okay, this is an iPad with a guitar interface and a Bluetooth speaker. Now this is probably one of the smallest speakers you can get. Not really a great sound. Let me turn it up. See, it's not very great. Now they do have effects you can get with the package, whatever app you use. So usually will have effects. This will add delay. Still not much better. Let's reduce the level. Yeah. You can play it clean too. You can turn the distortion all the way off. Or use headphones. That's a great way to hear these things. They probably sound a little better through headphones, but not much. They're not a bad practice tool, especially you have to work harder to play to make it to sound good, so it actually improves your playing. I know that's a weird, observation, but it's true. What else does this thing do? So that's basically it for this. Low draw, not a great sound. I'll list pros and cons in the video. But there's one option for you: tablet with Bluetooth speaker. Another one of my options that I'm showing you here are small practice amps. Now we're going from a Bluetooth speaker and a tablet up to this one. This has probably a 6-inch speaker in it. Probably, let me see how many watts it is. 10 watts. It's 10 watts. So it probably draws more when it's pulling from the wall or your solar generator. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So basically, but this has a volume, it has a tone control and a gain control for distortion. But it's going to be kind of a medium draw, so it's it's kind of the best of both worlds. But the tone isn't as great as maybe a bigger amp would be. So that's one of the downsides. But it is small and easy to stow away, and it sounds decent. No reverb, which is one thing you can get with a smaller tablet. There's no effects on this. Now you could use some external pedals that have batteries, that run with batteries, so that wouldn't draw anything for you. Or you can add maybe some effects if you want some different kinds of sounds. But this is a great little, just a power amp and a speaker in one box. This also has distortion built in. Let's see how bad it sounds. I'm always critical of this kind of a thing, so that's not bad. A little reverb would help, but obviously this thing doesn't have it. Not a big deal. But it's a mediocre sound, and it doesn't sound bad. If you cranked it up outside of your camper or outside the boat, it'd probably sound pretty cool. But it's kind of a medium, middle of the road sound source for your guitar. Like I said, add effects to it or something, but it's not going to draw a lot of power either, and I'll show you what that draw is in a second here. But let's move on to the next amplifier. Before we move on to the next amp, I'm going to show you a bass through this medium-sized amp. I'm not a bass player, clearly, but not a bad sound for just sitting around quietly practicing. So, low draw, not a bad bass tone. Okay, I'm no Jaco Pastorius, but anyway, also you can use the bass, so hey, it's very versatile, believe me. Okay, we're looking at my amps. This is the last one on the list. It's a full-size amplifier, pretty much. It's got a 112-inch speaker. It's one of the Line 6 Spiders. I hope I don't get in trouble for using their name. Anyway, with a 12-inch speaker, a little bigger power amp, you're going to get more of a draw, but not too much. We'll talk about that. Tube amps versus solid state amps. Everything I've shown you today has been solid state. Tube amps draw more wattage. Solid state is more efficient. So this is the biggest of the amps, and it has the best sound in my opinion. The 12-inch speaker gives it more body. Anyways, that's a clean sound. You can add reverb, and then these actually have a lot of cool effects on them if you like that kind of stuff. I like a little bit of effects, so it's kind of cool. You also can go to the Overdrive channel. Let's turn the delay off. Let's see. Straight rock and roll sound. It's a little bit too heavy for today, isn't it? Yes. So anyways, not a bad sounding amp, you know, for a solid state amp to have around. The thing is, you can get it down really quiet. These amps go really quiet, so if you want to practice and not bother anyone, you can do that. With 30 watts, you can crank it up pretty loud, and it does have some volume. Now, can you take it outside by the campfire and play Kumbaya? You could with a solar generator, but I don't know if I would do that. Maybe. Star Spangled Banner on the 4th of July, that'd be a good idea. Take it out, crank it up. Anyway, this is the largest of the 3 amps, or the four options I was giving you. So this is and I'll show you the wattage draw on all these amplifiers coming up here real quick. Anyways, this is my all-time favorite. It's light. It's not the easiest to store, but it's not giant, so you can put it in the corner and kind of use it as a coffee table. And I didn't want to forget you bass players out there. It's not bass, it's bass. This is actually probably the best bass amp to use if you're going to use out of everything I've showed you so far. It's got the best tone. Anyway. Anyway, that includes the bass on this amp, so that's another option for bass players or real musicians like guitar players. Kidding. Okay, this is the tablet option with the Bluetooth speaker. The Bluetooth is in right now, and it's plugged into the DC, and it's pulling about 3 watts. Let's plug the tablet in and see what that goes up to. So 8 watts. That's with the iPad here and that Bluetooth speaker. Of course, this interface is powered by the tablet. So, but basically, to run the stuff or to charge it, you're looking at about 8 watts. Not a lot of power being used there. So this is the most economical electric version to use. In my opinion, not the best sounding. But with headphones on, it may sound better. But it's, you know, it's definitely an option to use. And it only draws about 8 watts to charge the whole kit and caboodle. Okay, next is the mid-size amplifier. This is the 10-watt amplifier. It's still drawing less than 10 amps. Actually, it's 0.03 amps, so that's pretty low. The low wattage has been 2.5. This thing's topped out at 7.8 draw, so it's not pulling a lot from your unit. And of course, the Bluetti still says 0 because it's under 30 watts. So there's that. Yep, that amp's on, and we're running it with the Bluetti. Hey, good job, buddy. Okay, so the big amp with the 12-inch speaker, it's a 30-watt amp. It actually looks like it's drawing at 26.5 watts. Let's see here. That's the low. 109 volts. Less than an amp. So 26 watts, and I'm using the watt meter because the Bluetti doesn't register anything below 30 watts, I believe, on the AC side. So anyways, it'll show 0 here, but actually it's drawing 26 watts. So you could run this thing for about a long time on this. You can do the math, but you know, 26 watts isn't a big draw. So that's a good point about this, even this big amp. It's the best sound to me, and it'll still not draw too much to kind of drain your battery. Okay, well, in summary, there's a lot of different options, isn't there? Starting out with the acoustic, 0 power required. It's portable, quiet. It's best for campfires. Some of the cons, you know, it's a different feel and vibe from an electric guitar. So if you're wanting to jam out on your electric, the acoustic is definitely a different feel. I love it. You can play anything you want on an acoustic, and it's a great way to practice if you really want to build up your chops anyway. So it's not electric. You know, the tablet pros are basically, it's very, very portable. You can take it anywhere. You charge it up and go. It has the lowest draw, and I did a reading with DC on my Bluetti, showing how much it drew out, which is it's less than 10 watts. Some of the cons, the sound quality. You can use it with headphones, and the sound quality may be good for you. There's a little bit of latency with these too. When you play a chord, the chord will come out later. So it's there's probably ways you can adjust your latency. I just didn't go through them, but couldn't be an issue. And the volume isn't going to be as loud as you want if you want a big electric guitar to sound giant in the woods. But the good thing about them is they're really quiet, and they're good with headphone practice. And those are the first two. So the medium small amplifier, basically, the first thing we get to with that is it's still a low draw, but it has a speaker, a bigger speaker rather than just a little bitty Bluetooth speaker. So sound quality is better. Still a low draw. It's portable, but it's still wired. So it's going to be easier to carry around. And if you take your solar generator with you, you can take it anywhere, even to the campfire. But it's still wired. It's still a wired amplifier. You may be able to find. In fact, you can. Some amplifiers are made for portability, where you can charge it up and take it anywhere with a bigger speaker in it. So look for those. One of the cons is the sound quality isn't like top-notch. It's a decent sound, good to practice with, but for what it is, it's not the most high-fidelity, cool guitar amplifier. Anyways, and basically the last but not least, the full-size solid-state amplifiers. We're not going to use tube references because this is too much of a draw, higher maintenance, volume limitations as far as getting it quiet. But I like the 12-inch speaker in that. You got the volume if you need it. I think, to me, the tone is the best. Obviously, it's not, rock stadium quality, but I like the sound of my Line 6 amplifier, and it's solid state. The cons of that amplifier, it's not quite as portable. It's light, it's easy to move around, but it's the biggest of the group, and it doesn't stow away as easy. So I usually just use it to put stuff on, like an end table, or a place like that. Just stick it in the corner and put a cloth over it. Has a little higher power draw, right around 26 or 70 watts, I believe. I remember. Still not a lot of draw though, so you can use it for hours, probably 10-12 hours before you'll pull out the entire, but for a couple hours of practice it won't completely drain your system. So basically those are possible sound options for electric guitar if you're boondocking. I hope I made this video pretty much cover everything. So I hope you like my yellow guitar, and my guitar playing is never all that great, but hope it didn't put anybody to sleep. And so those are options for the EB240 and any other solar generator you want to use for lower power consumption with different amplifiers. So anyway, hey, look, I'm doing this on YouTube and Facebook, and if you subscribe or look for me on Facebook, that'd be ultra cool. I like connecting with people and friends that are boondocking and talk about guitar stuff and solar stuff, definitely. So hey, if you're out there, be safe, have fun, and definitely soak up the sun. See you next time.